Several strengths and weaknesses can be determined when employing digital forensics tools. The first benefit is digital forensics' ability to assist in preserving digital objects as preliminary step in long-term preservation. The capture of system-related information of these digital images prevents compatibility issues or immediate preservation needs. We can extract preservation-related information from the images to establish the context of the record, analyze data within the record, and determine the needed hardware or software to access the material. Throughout this investigative process, we should identify the value of these images in order to devise preservation strategies that will maintain the value throughout the record's use. Electronic records frequently change hands, are opened and closed, or are updated in formats. Digital forensics determines what has been changed in a digital object, what has been deleted or hidden on a storage device, and any tampering or corruption. Next, digital forensics acts as a collaborative tool with our stakeholders. Once discovering, recovering, or validating the received information, the staff at the ECHS could discuss with donors certain contextual aspects of the digital object, such as conflicts in the file's creation date. Along with this, the archivists at the ECHS can work with patrons in gaining an idea how they want to access digital materials. Would they like to access them in the original software environment like Microsoft Word 97 or receive an optical recognized PDF? The staff could then seek out specific preservation tools or information consultants to create such options. Another benefit for digital forensics is its integration into our archival methodology practices. Acquiring and appraising digital records changes with exploratory activities. When receiving a digital object and taking time to appraise the context of the record, we can understand when the record was created, how it was produced, and what allowed it to be accessible and usable. This helps the ECHS determine and prioritize its future preservation tasks. For example, these digital images may just need to be upgraded to a newer format as opposed to being recreated or reproduced in a newer software environment. Through forensics, the ECHS staff may even determine that some of the digital pictures are too difficult to preserve and should be withheld from preservation. The last benefit to digital forensics is its ability to strengthen an archival institution. Digital preservation is a constant concern with the growing creation of digital materials and changes in makeup of archival holdings. The ECHS staff can standardize their processing habits by using investigative forensic practices as the first step in appraising and preserving new acquisitions. Next, understanding how to retrieve and view the digital context of an electronic record makes the ECHS staff appear technologically experienced. Finally, by taking time to use forensic tools and practices, the institution takes on a trustworthy role in receiving cultural heritage collections by identifying traits in the digital record that support their authenticity and reliability. Yet with these strengths, digital forensics activities do have weaknesses. First, while these tools are typically free or open source programs, they rely on other resources like internet accessibility, storage devices, and dedicated staff time to operate. Second, several forensic programs are required to work in conjunction to extract and validate. Lastly, while this whole process enables us to discover, recover, or validate a digital object, the actual task or products needed in preserving these electronic materials are not defined. Digital forensics only reveals current preservation issues. Therefore, the integration of digital forensics into archival practices presents some challenges. Staff require the training with these programs and other validation tasks. This again strengthens the skills and competency of the ECHS staff. Next, collection, appraisal, and processing policies should be revised to include tasks of digital forensics. This standardizes activity within the institution as well as signals to patrons that the records are being properly maintained. Final challenge is determining the preceding preservation tasks for the validated records. Experimenting with case studies could allow the ECHS staff to develop a checklist or test system that corresponds with digital forensics activities and results in appropriate preservation approaches.